Hey guys, it's Arthur. Welcome to day 5 of mixing my friends' personas with the characters that remind me of them. Today we're talking about Dia, my girlfriend. I waited until day 5 to talk about her for 2 reasons. 1, it's a nice number, and 2, this is going to be super complex and difficult, like my life. Okay, so the first fandoms that come to mind are Steven Universe, Once Upon a Witchlight, or Vampire. We can cross off Once Upon a Witchlight because none of the main characters really remind me of her. And though it would be really fun to see her persona as someone from there, I don't think it'd be fair to choose Vampire since I was the one who introduced it to her. If I ever do a round 2 of these with different characters, then maybe. But until then, we're going with Steven Universe. Now, it's an instant no to all the main characters. I know these characters get a lot of character development, but we're going to focus on their general behaviors from what I've watched of it. Pearl is usually pretty uptight from what I've seen, not in a bad way a lot of the time. She just comes off more as anxious. Dia can act anxious at times, but not in the same way. She's definitely a lot more laid back. Amethyst itself is a gemstone Dia likes, but the character is a bit of a slob. She's fun, but she acts a bit too uncaring and almost childish in a sense. Dia is a lot more empathetic and active. On the other hand, Garnet, while I love her, is too mature, monotone at times, and like Pearl, feels too serious even if she can be fun and relaxed. So that's an instant no to Sapphire as well. And Ruby's too hot-headed. So if none of them, who else? Not Peridot, not Lapis, maybe a diamond, a pink diamond, a definite no, too childish, too dead, harmed too many around her and not in the tyrant-y way. Blue diamond, yellow diamond, no. If I'm going for the diamonds, I have to go for the top, the tyrant of the tyrants, white diamond. If you don't know, in our Discord server, we have a bit of a running gag where Dia is the president of the United States and turned it into a dictatorship in everything but name. Don't ask how that came to be, but it got to the point where we made it canon in our Welcome Home AU, welcome back. So white diamond for the sake of dictatorship. At this point, I'm going to end up with one of these series just being me throwing people into the roles of one universe because I just keep wondering who would be who in these scenarios. In Galaxies, who would be Gangle or Kinger? In Vins, who would be Lloyd? Who would be yellow, pink, blue? You get the point. But I must resist. Now for the design part. Man, do I have a surprise for you if you haven't looked at the length of this video. Might be a good time to check it. Regretting your decision to watch yet? Well, you will be soon. To start with, I was going kind of basic with the combination, pretty much just Dia with some clothing inspiration and a few color palette adjustments from white. And look, I gave her a little crown. I hated it! Going into this one, I knew it was either going to be the prettiest thing I've ever designed or a complete mess. That's typically how most of my designs turn out. I either love it or I hate it. I kept trying to fix it during the line art process, which the Speedpaint doesn't show all of the undos, but I assure you they happened. I gave up by the time I got around to coloring. I was tempted to scrap the entire thing, especially since this was supposed to be for someone really special, and I was just excited for this one in general because I thought it could look really pretty if I did it right, but well, I already got that far and I really hate scrapping things I worked hard on. I'll just finish this and redo it sometime, I guess. Fools, you thought. I redid it now! After 4 months of not touching it, I was finally ready to give it my all and not accepting it not turning out well. I'm going to make her look like a queen. For you, Madam President! This is the half of the script made after the 4 months passed, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, but I don't know what came over me those months ago. Looking back on that initial drawing, it wasn't good, but it wasn't so terrible it had to be scrapped and avoided for months. I honestly think my view was a little warped from doing these videos back to back. I only got up to 5, but I ended up hating all of my previous friend designs and thinking they weren't good enough. Especially since these are for people I care about. I want them to look good, actually feel like a gift. That, along with this combination of really pretty women, made me feel like I had to make something perfect. I had this image in my head, and when the drawing didn't fit, I'm gonna try to put more distance between these particular types of videos because I did not realize these stress me out so much. Not 4 months worth of time, hopefully, but not doing them in quick succession. Moving on, for this new design, I turned my brain off and did random things. I can't really say much else on my thought process, except I was going more in the direction of Space Dictator than White Diamond specifically. White just happened to be 90% of the palette I used. Anyways, I didn't hate this one, but it still didn't feel good, so I wasn't done. I decided to overcompensate. I ended up remaking the original one as well. It's not entirely the same as what I was going for originally, but that's mostly in the color palette sense. I changed the colors up a ton, and I like it better this way. Instead of going for plain black on the hair, I ended up adding some whitish pink, which everything on White Diamond is just a really, really, really pale version of a color. I did struggle for finding a different color, or rather shade, for the cape thing, but I didn't want to go for that purple. I wanted to be more sparing with that color, so I messed around with some dark purples and blues, and I was really aiming for a night sky type of look, but I settled where I had to. I made the legs fluffier and added more to the chest area, and I fixed whatever I was doing with the tail. I don't know what that was, but I'm assuming what I did now is better. Still didn't think it was good enough though, so I made another one. That took me 6 hours of about as full my concentration can get by itself, but I did end up liking this one the most, I think. I took inspiration from both the previous designs and implemented some new stuff from the source material, such as Dia's top and jewelry and white skirt thing. Dia really loves detail for some reason, which is why these designs have all been a little complicated, but this one was just completely out there, unable to be recreated by me ever. I will never be able to draw this thing again, I can say for certain, which is how I know I've succeeded. But despite the fact that I'm never going to draw this again, and there's no what-ifs about it, I do think this is the prettiest one yet. I really like the jewelry, I like the fluffiness. I really like fluffiness, if you guys can't tell. I like the horns, and I like the sparkly cape thing. And the eyes are pretty neat, I guess, but they're pretty much the same as the other twos. So yes, I do think this one is my favorite. Let me know in the comments which one you preferred. Technically though, the only opinion that matters is Dia's. So Dia, I want to know which one you prefer. Yes, I'm calling you out. Anyways, that should be about all for this video. These creatures now all belong to Dia should she want to do literally anything she wants with them. Or they can sit here and never see the light of day again. Either way, my job here is done. If you liked this video, please leave a like and comment. If you like my art, make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.